We earn money, save money and buy things. Living beyond the economic cycle is impossible. What trends are dictated by world markets and how does it affect consumers? Watch it in People and Economy. While some people are buried in thought of how to earn a lot of money, others make fortunes, travel in luxury cars, yachts and planes, own their houses in big companies. Currently, there are more than 16 million millionaires living in the world. In total, they own $150 trillion, Forbs magazine reports. Annually, the number of rich people increases by 5%. Only last year, more than 2.5 million new families whose fortune exceeds $1 million appeared in different parts of the world. Most of multi-millionaires in Central Asia are concentrated in Kazakhstan. There are about 150 people who have more than $30 million on their account. Millionaires have access to almost everywhere. They are warmly welcomed by top bank managers and offered best services. They invest money into small and medium businesses, employ people, buy shares, and in doing so, facilitate the development of domestic enterprises. As a result, a certain system of consumption, savings and financing is formed. The more millionaires we have, the higher is the economic status of our country. The more money people have, the higher is their spending. The higher are the incomes, the higher are the budget receipts. Taxes are a strategic part of our budget. Apart from that, millionaires urge local entrepreneurs to develop services for the rich. For instance, so-called private banking or top-level banking services in Kazakhstan is becoming especially popular. It supposes a complete customer support in all financial issues and investment products. Among the services is confidential asset management. It implies advisory services, assistance in fund investment, banking services, real estate market, and so on. There is no need to go into details of services alone. Each customer is given a personal advisor available around the clock. It can be a full range of issues, beginning from fund investment to taking account an insurance policy, placement of securities, taking a loan and other services. Apart from most common products and services, private banking customers can enjoy many other pleasant things, such as staying in VIP lounges in airports around the world, availability of discounts offered by their bank's partners, as well as special banking cards. Such people often travel to foreign countries where they need banking cards and other additional services, such as concierge service and high service level. Statistically, people's incomes mainly depend on stock markets. Purchase of securities, shares and bonds has become a real boom among millionaires as well as among ordinary people. Experts say that about 450 operations to the amount of more than $11 million are performed in Kazakhstan every week. Because of that, brokers' services are nowadays of importance in VIP banking. Stock markets cooperate with brokers and brokers work with customers. This is how the market is functioning. Brokers arrange stock exchange deals, invite their customers to participate in stock market operations, provide them with software support, control limits and send reports. Nowadays, more and more customers of broker companies are reluctant to purchase and sell securities themselves. In order to save time and earn more money, the majority of people trust these affairs to personal broker managers. They, as agreed with customers, purchase securities of major domestic and international companies themselves. People in Kazakhstan give preference to retail companies, such as large network of stores with high and sustainable profits. They specialize in selling of a wide variety of goods, from sneakers to computers. Rich people treat their wages with due care. Because of that, they try to minimize their financial losses. In order to avoid unpredicted costs, many entrepreneurs insure their businesses. Their payout amount in this case can vary from $2 to $20 million. One more thing is liability insurance of managers. Owners of major companies can insure their directors against the possibility of managerial errors which could cause financial losses. Currently, there are a lot of companies suggesting VIP customer services. Specialists expect that an offshore market and investment residency, which is widely practiced in the UAE, will also appear in Kazakhstan within a short period of time. There are also a lot of companies offering services of concierge or personal managers who, in fact, run businesses of their customers. Standard concierge services are widely spread in Kazakhstan. They imply reservation of hotels, air tickets and tables in restaurants, as well as household services like calling a carpenter, electrician or plumber. The first bank branch designed especially for rich customers was opened in Europe approximately 200 years ago. Private banking has become especially popular in Switzerland, where most of the world's multi-millionaires live. The country of mountains and brand-name watches is also known as one of the world's major financial centers. Its banking system is traditionally considered the most reliable for opening bank accounts. Therefore, it attracts rich people from all parts of the world. Nowadays, the total amount of savings belonging to foreign customers in Swiss banks exceeds $2 trillion. According to analysts, the majority of private banking customers, or approximately 27% of private banking accounts, are concentrated in Switzerland. Apart from Swiss banks, people also give preference to German and British financial institutions. Often, VIP customers consider standard services insufficient, so bankers have to renew their products from time to time. In addition, an individual investment program can be developed for each customer. The majority of Europeans try to do everything in order to secure themselves against unpredictable financial losses. Most commonly, they insure their property, business, health and life. The UK insurance market is one of the most developed in Europe. Head offices of leading international companies are located in London. Along with standard ones, people are also offered special types of insurance. For instance, against falling of an airplane or other types of flying machines on their houses. Four million people whose savings exceed $1 million live in China, Japan, Malaysia and Singapore. Financial institutions of these countries attract customers from different parts of the world. The reason for that is stable economy and absence of corruption. Moreover, residents of Europe who run their business in Singapore are exempt from taxes, which give them an additional advantage. Singapore is one of major financial centers in Southeast Asia, with a constantly developing stock market. All conditions are created there for trust management and other financial services. Because of that, the country has become a subject of interest for many people. Most of global wealth belongs to Asian investors. In total, their fortune is estimated at almost $11 trillion. In the meantime, richest people spend more than 30% of their incomes on purchasing shares of various international companies. Most of the world's millionaires live in the US. These 5 million people are the principal customers of financial centers. Many of them use services of family offices or private family banks which serve interests of one particular family. Usually they employ no more than 7 workers. Becoming a customer of such a bank is only possible for millionaires who own hundreds of millions of dollars. Americans gained a reputation of the world's most active investors. Annually, they invest more than $200 billion into the country's domestic market. It is worthy of note but the main investors are ordinary people who buy up shares in all types of products, beginning from sneakers to high technologies. An average value of one share is $30. The US is a largest capital market. It is a kind of platform with clear rules of game and shows much respect towards the investment culture. The US has a highly developed internal market, which receives a great many of foreign emittents and investors. According to experts, both strict family budget and tight expenditure monitoring are necessary for becoming a millionaire. In fact, the majority of well-to-do people live below their means. Statistically, each fourth millionaire in the world buys shoes cheaper than $100 and suits up to $200. Because of that, using services of private banking, personal brokers and insurance agents, rich people are guided by economy. Here we're talking about time and money saving. Financial services are composed in such a way that they would allow customers to preserve and save their money. In order to save money, many entrepreneurs run their businesses in offshore territories. There, foreign businessmen open their offices and affiliated companies which are partially or completely exempt from taxes. It allows to save up to 50% of incomes and use these funds for further business development. Moreover, goods and services of offshore companies are cheaper than from countries where tax liability is in effect. Entrepreneurs enjoy tax exemptions in offshore territories. It gives companies a chance to minimize their losses. Because of that, offshore territories are also called tax paradise. There is a total confidentiality and anonymity of financial operations. The world's most popular offshore zones are British Virgin Islands and Belize, where they impose no taxes at all. Panama and Seychelles, with very low taxes, are on the second place. Dominican Republic, where company owners are exempt from taxes for a period of 20 years, follows the third. Some types of financial services are available not only to millionaires but also to people with salaries above the average. Thus, for example, almost anyone can afford buying shares or other securities. Experts say that shares issued within the framework of IPO are among the most in demand in the world. Indeed, their price begins from $3 and profits grow depending on the company's development. It should be noted that a share bought for several dollars after some time can be sold at a price several times higher. For example, in 2009, the value of one share was about $90. Nowadays, it would cost $850. It means that its price grew more than 200 times. It means that during these 7 years, their owners, along with dividends, could sell them and get a good profit. Shares of oil companies are the most in demand. They are followed by major corporations specializing in selling mobile phones and computers. Web search engines and social networks close the top three. The United Arab Emirates, the country of sheikhs, unimaginable skyscrapers and best hotels and trade centers. One would undoubtedly call it the world's richest state. Nonetheless, the leadership belongs to a small country with a population of only 2 million people, Qatar. GDP there reaches almost $100,000 per person and each second family are millionaires.